So let's break down Shedeur first. Big smile, jousting in a fun, playful way, I think, with the media. And he said, listen, I turned it around at Jackson State. We, also speaking of his father and everyone that transferred with them, did the same thing at Colorado. I believe I can do that. This is my track record at the next level. Whomever drafts me, and said, if you don't want to turn it around, then basically don't get me. Wasn't specifically referring to the Browns, anyone near the top of the draft that takes him. He said that he can help turn a franchise around. That is what he does. He also said, and I found this interesting, Gibby, that if you doubt him, he said, if you don't think I'm one of the best quarterbacks in the draft, then that must be some hate for the family, and said, you're just using my name against me and not looking at the film and seeing what I've done and how I've helped elevate programs.
Yeah, I mean, he won the room.
Yes.
It's the $1 million smile.
Absolutely.
And he knows how to work the room. Definitely took the PR classes from his father and probably from his fantastic PR reps. I mean, he worked the room. He did all the individual national media outlets afterward, and got to the point where they were desperately just trying to get him out of the room. Normally, it's 15 minutes at the podium, and then you get 5 to 10 minutes with all the national media.
Same decision, same reason. 2 quarterbacks. One got praised, the other fell 140 spots. So what really changed? The process or the person?
That are coming back with another video, and there's a situation that a lot of people ain't talking about, but we finna talk about this, because when it comes to Shedeur and other set players, there's different standards to be held with. Guys, for this one here, we got to go to Indiana. We going to have to jump right into this one, man. Now, we all remember last year's during the NFL draft when it was announced that superstar quarterback Shedeur Sanders will not be attending.
Hold on. Stop scrolling. Stop whatever you're doing right now, because what I'm about to show you is one of the most eye-opening, jaw-dropping double standards I have ever seen in the history of the NFL draft process. And I'm not here to yell. I'm not here to be dramatic. I'm just going to lay out the facts side by side, and you're going to sit there and tell me what you see. Because if you don't see it after this video, then I genuinely don't know what to tell you.
Where do you think he winds up?
If I had to bet $1 today, in my mind, Mike Tomlin likes Shedeur Sanders. I don't think the Giants are going to take him at 3, but I'm not ruling it out. I don't think they will. I definitely don't think the Saints will take him at 9. Can't really find a team from 9 to 21, although someone could always trade up if they want him that much. So my guess is he would sit on the board till 21. And that's where it's going to be interesting. Now, ultimately, I do think that Mike Tomlin is a Shedeur Sanders fan. And if he's a fan, my guess is that the owner might sign off on that at that point in time, and they might be Shedeur. Doesn't mean they will be, but I can see that happening.
So who's the quarterback most likely to be traded up for at the end of the first round on Thursday night?
I could tell you there seems to be a lot of sentiment out there, right or wrong, that the Saints love Jackson Dart. There's a belief amongst teams that the Saints love him. The Giants have an awful lot of ties with all their Ole Miss ties to Jackson Dart. Tyler Shuck, in the eyes of some, they think that he could potentially be the best quarterback in this draft class. Jalen Milroe's got this great upside that you need to harness, but I don't know how the Browns and the Giants and the Saints have them ranked.
So do the Saints love Dart 9th overall, love?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think they love him like that. But the Saints typically have been a very aggressive team in going up to get who they want. So if and when they don't pick a quarterback at 9, and by the way,
yes,
that may be the surprise. On Thursday night, we're sitting there, and with the 9th overall pick, the New Orleans Saints select Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart.
That'll be something.
But you could see it.
Colorado Buffalo's Pro Day. Now, I wasn't covering it like that at the time, but I remembered the headlines that was coming out. And the headlines was Shedeur is doing a disservice to himself, his future, and all of these set things for not attending the NFL Combine. I mean, they talked about this all the way up until draft day. And it was even talked about so much that many people felt as if that was the set reason why Shedeur Sanders fell in the draft, because he simply did not attend the NFL Pro Day.
Let's go back to February 2025. Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders, one of the most decorated college quarterbacks of his generation, makes the decision to skip throwing at the NFL scouting combine. Now, this was not some random nobody. This was a guy who threw for over 4,100 yards, completed 74% of his passes, won the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year award, and held the all-time college football record for career completion percentage. He was being talked about as a top 3 pick. Some mock drafts had him going number 1 overall. So what was his reason for skipping combine throwing drills? Simple. He wanted to throw at Colorado's Pro Day with his own wide receivers, guys he had chemistry with, guys like Travis Hunter, Will Shepard, Leonte Carew, draft-eligible receivers who needed those looks in front of NFL scouts. He said publicly that he wanted to give his teammates a chance to shine. That's it. That was the whole reason. And the NFL world lost its mind. ESPN analysts came out immediately. Matt Miller went on television and said Shedeur's camp was not handling the pre-draft process well. Media figures called the decision arrogant. Some said he was hiding something. Others said it was a selfish move. The narrative was everywhere, on every sports show, every podcast, every tweet, that Shedeur Sanders was making the biggest mistake of his career by not throwing in front of NFL scouts at the combine. Then came the NFL interviews. Reports started leaking. Anonymous NFL coaches calling him brash, calling him arrogant. One NFL insider said some teams felt he didn't have a professional approach during interviews. The story just kept building and building and building. And by the time draft day rolled around, the media had successfully created a version of Shedeur Sanders that was damaged, his reputation questioned, his attitude questioned, his future questioned. And when he fell to the 144th pick in the 5th round, 144th overall, when he was projected to go in the top 3, they pointed right back at the combine decision. They said, see, that's what happens when you don't respect the process. 144th pick, a guy with a 74% completion rate, a guy who broke college football records, 5th round. That happened. Fast forward to right now, February 2026. Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, the projected number 1 overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, announces he will not be throwing at the NFL Combine. He will wait until Indiana's Pro Day on April 1st. His reason? He wants to throw with his own pass catchers, and he wants to help showcase his receivers to NFL scouts. Sound familiar? That is word for word the same reason Shedeur Sanders gave.
Fail in the draft because he simply did not attend the NFL Pro Day. I mean, the NFL Combine. Now, with that being said, if you guys have not heard, Fernando Mendoza, Indiana quarterback, stated that he will not be attending the NFL Combine. Now, do y'all think he was issued the same ridicule and the same type of situation from the media for not doing this? Oh no. They're looking at this thing totally different. Guys, let's head into this story right now, man, because this is one right here.
So let me ask you something. What happened next? Did ESPN analysts come out and say Mendoza was making a mistake? Did reporters write stories about his arrogance? Did NFL coaches leak anonymous quotes about his attitude? Did anyone at all say he was doing a disservice to his future? No, they didn't. Instead, people called it smart. They called it strategic. One analyst said Mendoza just wants to put his teammates in the best position to succeed. A beat reporter framed it as a selfless move by a quarterback who understands the importance of team chemistry. The Pat McAfee show had him on and let him explain his decision calmly, respectfully, and nobody pushed back. And look, I know some people are going to come into the comments and say, well, the situations are different. So let me address that right now, because I've already done my homework. Yes, Mendoza won the Heisman Trophy. Yes, Indiana went 16-0 and won the national championship. Those are real accomplishments. Nobody is taking that away from him. But here's what people keep conveniently forgetting. when Shedeur made his combine decision, he was also a projected top 3 pick. He was projected to go before Mendoza's current draft position. He had just finished a season where he led the entire Big 12 conference in completions, passing yards, and touchdowns. He was the best college quarterback in the country statistically, and they still buried him. So the accomplishments argument doesn't fully hold up because the treatment was completely different before the evaluations even happened. Shedeur's own camp, his friend Boogie Knight, came out on social media just this week and said, quote, "Man, is it okay to do it now? I'm just asking." That one hit different, didn't it? Because he remembered what happened. The whole family remembered what happened.
It's ugly. Now, this tweet right here speak values. This one right here. Hey, they pushed Shedeur Sanders down to 144th pick because he didn't play in the Senior Bowl or throw at the combine and wanted to showcase my wide receivers to NFL scouts. I hope Mendoza is ready for his draft slide right too. Yes, that is the situation that occurred when Shedeur did it. Shedeur just simply wanted to throw to his wide receivers.
Coach Prime himself, Deion Sanders, has spoken publicly about how that draft experience affected the entire family. He said it was one of the hardest years they'd been through. His son fell 140 spots from where he was projected. His health was affected, and the people who made it happen, who pushed that narrative, who ran those stories, they never looked back. Now, I need you to understand something. This is not just about the combine. This is not just about throwing drills. This is about a pattern that has existed in professional sports for a very long time, where the same action performed by 2 different people gets judged in 2 completely different ways. And when you look at who those people are, and you look at how consistently this plays out, you have to ask yourself some very uncomfortable questions. Caleb Williams skipped combine throwing drills before the 2024 draft. He went first overall. Jaden Daniels skipped combine throwing drills. He went second overall. Bryce Young skipped combine throwing drills. He went first overall. Marvin Harrison Jr. showed up to the combine, got measured, and did nothing else. He went 4th overall. Every single one of those players made the same decision as Shedeur Sanders. Not one of them was called arrogant. Not one of them had their interviews leaked to the press. Not one of them slid to the 5th round. And now Fernando Mendoza makes the same call, and the same media machine that destroyed Shedeur is treating it like it's the most reasonable, most professional, most team-first decision a quarterback can make. The goalposts don't just move here. They get picked up, carried across the field, and set down somewhere completely different depending on who's standing at the line of scrimmage. Here's what I want you to take away from this video. Shedeur Sanders was not perfect in his draft process. Nobody is. But the punishment did not fit the crime. A 5th-round pick, 144th overall for a quarterback with his numbers, his record, and his pedigree. That wasn't purely about football evaluation. That was a message. And the fact that Fernando Mendoza is being allowed to make the exact same decision with 0 backlash, 0 criticism, 0 media pile-on tells you everything you need to know about how that message was sent and who it was sent to. Now, Shedeur is in Cleveland, proving himself every single day, getting ready to show the world what 31 other teams passed on. And I believe in my soul that the day he balls out in this league, and he will, every single person who pushed that narrative is going to act like they saw it coming all along. Don't let them rewrite history. You saw it, I saw it, and now you can't unsee it. Drop a comment and tell me what you think. If you've been watching this situation from the beginning, you already know what time it is. Hit that subscribe button because we're going to keep telling the truth on this channel, whether they like it or not.